We in the rum shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
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 So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Alright, so welcome to another edition of Rum Shop Talk. And for those of you who took in the first episode, we hope you enjoyed it. We're back at it again and at a slightly different panel today.
Cast of characters.
We don't even know what's gonna happen if the same people will be on the set at the end of the show. But we have Phillip, Edward, Alexander. We have Stephan, Matterson in the corner there. We have Satish joining us as well. And of course, my name is Stephan Reis. And we have a lot to talk about. Where's the theme for this?
Bread and circuses.
Bread and circuses.
Bread and circuses.
Well, let's get started, gentlemen.
The issue, and I'm throwing this straight to Stephen Matterson, and the issue is this. Your partner Duke is still going to give out bread. Flour gone up.
Kasi.
You can't say?
You gotta find no money for that.
PDP could afford bread?
That's 1% for that.
But we're going to buy 33% now.
You asked me something before the show started. You was talking about, you said when the Ukraine-Russia war, which they blaming the increase in flour on, you asked me if when that war done, if the price will come back down. Because it's also that war that affecting the price of gas, right?
It is.
So the cost of living in Trinidad will be significantly impacted by the war in Russia and Ukraine. When that done, our gas gone down, our diesel gone down, our bread and doubles and roti gone down.
Well,
everybody expecting.
all of us sitting here, we know, and the people watching know, it ain't coming down. Unless they get Trinidad Killer to sing that tune, come down from there, it ain't coming down. Alright, it's gonna stay right which part it is, or it might even rise even further. Who knows?
The things that went up that raised the price of doubles, when they came back down, the doubles price stay on top.
How much things went up in Trinidad and Tobago for specific reasons? And when the dynamic changed, stayed up. How many things? How many things ever came back down that you could remember?
And that's the point. And that's why, and I'm saying this from the moment they announced it, that the government being ridiculous, subsidize the price of flour. Flour is not a jokey product. To the average Trinbagonian, if you only have one meal for the day, flour involved in that meal.
True. But
that shouldn't be, in my opinion. I mean, flour is a killer. Flour is sugar.
But in terms of the subsidizing of it, isn't the government the biggest shareholder in NFL?
I think so.
And if the government is
Our diet is flour-based, so we have to subsidize it for the people until we're ready.
Because the taxpayer is the biggest shareholder, that's all.
I listen to you.
Right, so if the taxpayer is the biggest shareholder and flour had to go up, it's only right that the government
the reason I say that
absorb the blow.
The reason I say they have to subsidize it is because the rationale you give for it going up has an end. Even the 100 years war came to an end. Right? You're saying that flour is poison and all that bacchanal. But we reach 8 billion people in the world because of flour. Wheat. The cultivation of wheat and corn is what made modern man possible. So let's remember that. All the things that you could think of in your meal, all your pastas, that's flour too.
Flour, yeah.
That's flour too.
Yeah. Macaroni, yeah. Flour. Yeah.
I think Trinidadians, I just want to probably be a fly in the ointment. I think Trinidadians need to watch how they eat. Because one of the things I always say, poor people.
You mean going to the eyes closed?
Poor people spend the most money on food and the most money on poison.
Yeah.
The things they eat, the things they spend the most money
Well,
on,
Yes,
If
make
we-
some
is
statements, boy. Stephen.
it's dangerous
No,
for
but
them.
make some statements.
No, it's dangerous for
But
them.
you,
If
poor
we-
people can't afford chutters.
No, but poor people can't afford. Poor people shouldn't be buying all them flour and
Well,
and
well,
So
well,
oil
why
and all
they
them
buy it?
things.
Because the food cheap.
Because
No,
that's
who
what
said cheap?
Yeah, because no, hold on. I have been saying this for years.
Doubles.
Who say cheap?
Roti.
I have been
But
saying
all them
this
things
for
killing
years.
you.
Mr.
All them things is
Matterson,
them
Mr.
things
Matterson, why is
insulin
a bottle of
resistance.
water more expensive than a bottle of soft drink?
Why is it more expensive? But
This
that's
have no
something.
sugar, no color, no nothing. Why is this more expensive than a bottle of soft drink?
This is
Why
not more expensive than a bottle of soft drink.
It is.
This is you buy a case of this for $20, less than $1 for one.
I don't know what brand.
The
This
person
is-
the
this
person
is
retail
smooth
the
water.
person who retailing it the person who retailing it
I
will
don't
sell it
know.
for $5 more.
I
So
don't
they're
know.
making 400%
I
profit
don't know
on
what
it.
kind of canal water you drinking, but
No, but-
this is not
No,
that.
no.
But I say, listen, I'm saying for years, the government should be subsidizing healthy food because
Healthy food.
I
I agree.
always,
I agree with
every
you.
year, and every minister
But
of health
not
that
flour
I
is
could
not healthy
remember,
food.
every minister of health I could remember over the last 15 to 20 years always talking about Trinidad and Tobago obesity problem and diabetes.
But you
Right,
see-
but you asking
If-
for them to subsidize flour.
Yeah, but
That's
no,
not
no,
healthy
no, no.
food.
But here, but if they could subsidize the healthy food is the more expensive food on the shelf in the grocery. So when you talk about poor people buying what poor people could afford,
Exactly.
which is the unhealthy food.
Look
Which
at
is
that.
cheaper
So
than
if
the
the
fast food.
role of government,
And if the government
is
putting
the
money
role
into
of
the
government is
agricultural
subsidizing healthy
sector,
food, so
then
poor people go and eat
they could
healthy
more than
food.
subsidize the healthy food in the country.
Listen, I was saying to a friend this morning, if you go in the market on a Saturday,
This episode
Especially
of Rum Shop
people-
Talk brought to you by the Ministry of Health.
especially persons,
And agriculture,
especially
hopefully.
persons living close to market and thing in Port of Spain and thing.
Yeah.
You go to the market on any Saturday or Sunday around 11 o'clock. You could still, in 2022, leave with a basket of market stuff for less than $100. That will be in your fridge.
Alright, but
That's not allow me. That will be in your fridge for a week. Go in the fish market, not in the market in the fish on the depot in sea lots. I'm just saying, and you'll get fish for at least about 10 or 15% less fresh fish just come out of the sea, for 10-15% less than what you pay on the van.
What's the
You-
point you're trying to
The
make?
point I'm making
Because
is that
you know what you're missing,
Mhm.
and I said it this morning. Even with the 33% increase, on top of the 19% increase, it's still cheaper to bake your own bread home than to go and buy a loaf of bread. Chinese and baking, nothing. We get lazy.
well,
We are big shots now. Somebody have to do our cooking.
But I don't think it's laziness. If we have to go be working 24/7, almost 24/7, try to make a little money there. I mean, so many people have to, the minimum wage and doing only two
No,
jobs. and
those
stuff
are the
like that.
people that bake.
listen,
Those are the people that will
to me,
make.
I don't
Trinidad
think
and
so.
Tobago is the only place where the laws of demand and supply don't work. Things increasing, things getting hard all over
Which
the world.
laws work?
I'm talking about the natural law of demand and supply.
No, yeah,
Right? It don't work.
you ever notice?
Everything remains expensive when the demand for it is not there still.
You ever notice the lane that's supposed to be empty is the right lane because that's the overtaking lane. But
Right.
if you want to overtake, you ought to use the left lane because the right lane full. This is Trinidad.
This is what I'm saying.
We do everything
It's true.
backwards.
It is true. It is true. And I mean, flour gonna buy 33% public servants. Good luck with your 2%.
No. It's not 33%. It's not 33%.
That's not funny. Yes,
It's 58%.
Okay, sorry. Public servants. Flour's gonna buy 58%. And
Because
they offer
it's
you 2%.
19% in December. And that 19% raised the price of flour to a new price. And then 33% of that new price totals a 58%
58%
increase.
increase, yeah.
That is serious.
Anybody know what the price of doubles will be in about a month time?
I say about $8.
You see it?
Well, I buy my doubles next to Royal Bank. So my loans officer there.
What you pay for doubles? How much you pay for doubles?
No, my loans officer in the bank. So now, I just go out later when the loans officer at work and say, how much I can afford?
But how much is bad doubles for?
Right now, $6.
$6?
Darren's.
You eating doubles or you don't eat doubles at all?
I don't eat doubles.
He's a
You don't eat
healthy
doubles?
person.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a
Where you
healthy
from?
Now and again, I might
Where
take
you
a double.
from?
It will be a outlier. Hardly ever eat
At
doubles.
Trinidadian that don't eat doubles?
Your partner Gary
All right.
Griffith say he never eat a doubles in his life.
What? Nah, man.
None of you ever ask him that question. He
No,
said that.
no. Gary can't be serious with that.
Well,
Gary Griffith never eat a
He
doubles
said
in
he
his life.
never eat a doubles in his life.
I wasn't here when he said that. I was
You was
shocked.
here when he said that?
I was shocked.
Well, Gary, nah. Gary dropped the ball there. Oh, eat a doubles. Oh, you could be...
I have to eat a double for
Nah,
breakfast
man.
on a Sunday.
Sometimes I might treat my body to a doubles.
Doubles is he
Or two.
national breakfast? Is he national breakfast?
They have a certain feeling of being a Trini that you have when you learn the correct hold, grab, and lean. To buy a double.
Yeah.
And then look.
Yeah. But I don't buy doubles again.
When you die looking at
Yeah.
it,
And somebody spilling your jersey, yes, all right, I come.
Now, from an economical standpoint, I don't buy doubles again. I just buy singles. I get smart over the years. Because our doubles, no, are serious. You buy our doubles, right? They wrap it. If you don't eat it on the spot, they wrap it, right? Or even if you eat it on the spot, you ever realize you just run out of chana? You don't get that problem with a single,
That's
No, I'm telling you.
That's like eating one banana.
And
say
if you buy 3 singles, they go charge you the same price as a triple.
You know that about doubles
So
at
you have
double
3 barrel
stall
and 3
on the
spoon of
avenue,
chana.
up right next to Frankie's.
Uh-huh.
You're getting meat in your doubles.
Yeah. They come and they start to sell your
Accidentally?
meat here.
No, you
They
get
start to sell your meat and chicken doubles.
chicken doubles and
what kind of meat?
like chicken
it was
roti.
the
Shrimp
intention.
double and chicken doubles.
Shrimp
and
doubles and
doubles and
chicken
all kind of
doubles.
I
things.
eat a
All
shrimp
kind of
doubles
things.
in the savannah. I want to tell you something. That's one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. And I
Serious? I never tried that,
trying to find the man, but like he and his wife, I don't know they break up or what on. They used to come out there like Thursday, Friday, Saturday in the savannah on the Barber Green.
Yeah.
And boy, it was about, I think it was $15 or $20 for
But
time
I mean, I
life.
can't
That's
classify
probably
it
the
as a
same
double
people.
single
That's probably
point
the
shrimp
same
and
people.
double.
Boss, when you're
That's a roti.
I don't care what you call it, it tastes real
It
good.
will go be the price of a roti, boy. Anybody say bust up shot?
Hey, that's what. That's what. That's
But what
that's
happened with
1%
this
for
flower
now,
thing is really a extension of what's going on across the world.
You think so?
The question is, should the government of Trinidad and Tobago probably subsidize or cushion the effects of some of these things?
I want to ask you a question.
And that might be a question the economists may want to answer, because I'm hearing a talk about the question of the minimum wage or the increase in the minimum wage, and that will be a catastrophic move to me if the government should even go that way. Because increasing the minimum wage, the effect that will have is that everything else will be inflated.
This
Yeah.
episode of Rum Shop Talk really needed the rumble.
And
is
if
getting very
if that
serious.
happens, the very people you try to protect by putting on an extra $2 or whatever on your minimum wage, you'll destroy them.
I think what the government has to do is make things cheaper in the country. That's what they have to do.
I think what they should do
Subsidize it.
is have more regulation, profiteering,
Boss
and that
man,
kind of thing.
I read it on social media, people talking about how to grow wheat. And I laughing. Chinese not growing that thing. I tell them we get lazy at that. And I talking for me.
As a matter of
I
fact,
talking for me. If you send me my bread pre-buttered, I happy.
Pre-butter.
why don't you subsidize farmers to go cassava and all these things like
Pre-butter.
the mega farms that they were thinking about, Manon was thinking about a couple of years
Now the
ago.
mega farms was for finances. They get 100 acres at a time to become party venues in
But-
Chagaramas.
But just on a note here, has the price of flour, right, raised anywhere else in the region?
Forget that. Has the price of have we gotten new flour in the silos to justify this price? Have
Right.
the people who raising the price of flour gotten paid new prices for the flour they have in the bags?
Yeah.
Everybody just taking
Will
advantage.
be
of
profiteering,
the
yeah.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Anybody that raised the price today, they had to be
But I
profiteering.
feel Stephen Patterson taking things too seriously. So I had to bring
Who's
out
that?
I had to bring up my jersey.
Who is that?
Listen, people tell me I'm taking it too seriously, so they tell me I should
I feel like I say no, when he set out weekend at
I
Boone's
leave
or
it. I
something
leave
now.
it. I leave it.
Where's
I can't be
you borrow that one, eh?
I can't be
went-
serious, man.
I went to a store named Swag and Brag in Westmall. The lady has
That
my
is swag and
Which
brag.
one is swag and which one's brag with that one?
Let me finish.
I
The
cut the
lady,
flour seen on the jersey there? Wheat flour? Nah. Yeah, okay.
the lady tell me I was buying too much black clothes. So she tell me this.
You bought it.
You have to buy that.
I thought
I like this, you know.
I
But
went to
think
Swag
it's-
and Brag and I walked in and they recognized me and I was Phillip Alexander.
Yeah.
And they said,
That
try this.
that
I
don't
told her father, say, give
That
her
don't
something.
happen to me. That's something to you?
You actually walk in and store and buy that, Philip?
Yeah, will she tell me where it is?
Oh,
So
she
this-
pull your wares and take your money still?
So to the lady in Swagenbrag, let's be wearing it, right? So, no, but as
Did
my
you get a discount?
as my
Okay.
pants and thing there.
How much discount you get?
It's a nice place. This she check it. I don't know how much it's gonna get. She tell me
You
this
didn't get
price, and she have
You
changed
didn't
for
get
me.
enough of a discount.
She have changed for me.
Boy, you should have had a pay me to wear that. I telling you.
And there
I'm
are
not wearing that for free.
and there are blue.
But pay me to wear
There
that.
are blue one too, you know.
So she didn't
That
have it in
traffic
orange.
light.
I'm gonna buy.
She didn't have it already. You imagine him doing a live video in traffic and think cars passing and seeing that jersey. How much people go watch that and get accidents?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, once it get the message out
Who's the message? Who's the message?
that I don't have to take myself seriously. Obviously, this shirt is to lighten the mood.
Okay.
More lightened.
All right.
No, but Stephen, you're talking about serious issues there, and you're not wrong in the points that you're making. But the point I want to make is this. I want to say this carefully, and I'm glad Errol not here because he'd have real buff me for saying this. But the reason a lot of these things are the way they are is because Trinidadians have become complacent, lazy, and irresponsible with our democracy. And people don't stand up for nothing. They're going to make a set of noise now, but they're going to find a way to fit it in their salary. And if they can't afford to fit it in their salary, they're going to jump the wall and break in the neighbor house and thief something and sell it. But the truth of the matter is, we are not going to unite. I see people talking about bread versus doubles. And I say, but how foolish are we that we don't realize
Everything is flour.
all of us paying the same price for the flour?
Unfortunately, that is the truth. That's the truth. I just said that the laws of economics don't work in Trinidad. According to the law of economics, when there is a glut in the market for something, then the price of it goes down.
Isabella was with
And
me.
when there's a scarcity, there's a likelihood that the price will increase because you will have more people wanting it. It does not work like that in Trinidad. With nothing, with land, nothing. We America
with
is on the
attorneys
verge.
general in front of the court.
We going there?
Well, he's saying nothing no work, and I want to add that.
Yeah, America is on the verge of another crisis, another subprime crisis, another fall of the stock market, all that kind of thing. And pretty soon you will see things come down in America significantly.
Isn't this a good thing, though?
Huh?
All of this restructuring that going on.
Because you'll have less demand, of course.
Isn't this a good thing? I mean, you don't find we became too consumption driven in the world?
Well, yeah, for the same reason we were talking last week with the Americanized, everything is what you see on TV you want to have.
Who is this comedian? The black guy, and he have his hair, and he's parted in the middle, and he have it.
Oh, Cat Williams.
Cat Williams. He was on a show I was watching last night, and Cat Williams buffed the crowd. He was on a show with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg have a new show on Netflix. Anyway, and Cat buffed everybody for eating oxtail. He said because the price of oxtail get very high.
Okay.
He said, but in his whole life, and I agree with him on this, in his whole life, he's never seen one ox. So
where the oxtail coming
where
from?
the tail's coming from? He's never seen one ox.
That's true.
But, and the next question is, what is the rest of the ox?
That's true.
Okay.
They're probably selling it as beef or
I
something.
don't know.
Better check that show though. That's good kicks. I can't tell you the name of the show because it's a Snoop Dogg show.
Leave it to a comedian to come up with these things. No, serious. Nah, you gotta give it to them, you know. They really have a way that they just put things across and bring up certain things that you're really studying until they mention it.
Yeah, I never see an ox in my life.
I try to recall.
So where they get any tails
Well,
from?
following
never seen an ox.
is will that be stale, all kind of thing you eating and thinking stale.
I like oxtail as make oxtail soup. When you price oxtail in the grocery, pound for pound, it's more expensive than anything else.
Than anything else.
I like gold.
And that was the parts of the meat they used to throw away. It's funny, eh? It's funny how the things that the poor people used to get for free become the most expensive thing. Shrimp,
Pigtail and
Lobster.
shrimp.
shrimp, Lobster.
Yeah.
Lobster, they used to throw it. They used to get vexed with lobster.
Shrimp was a poor people thing.
Shrimp was bugs, man. Nah.
Lobster was for slaves.
Shrimp was bugs. It's only in the 30s or the 40s of this century that they came up with ways that people would be interested in eating shrimp.
Like pigtail and
Seriously?
thing. Like when the
The
slave
butcher-
when the slave master kill the pig and thing and eating the loin and everything, you get any tail.
You get the tail, the snout, the feet,
Snout.
the ears,
Yes,
and those are the things that people learn to make all this tripe. You ever eat
Tripe.
tripe?
Pig
All these
belly and all
dishes.
them things.
All these dishes. Yeah,
that
pork
was
belly.
waste.
All right.
Cow heel soup.
Mhm.
Cow heel soup. Yeah.
When last year price cow heel. These things
price now, right?
so expensive now, and it means
Everybody will eat a cow heel. Everybody will eat a soup on a Saturday. The
It
price
ju-
of the soup going up.
it just
I
means
paid
that
35 for a large one.
how much heel it have in that soup?
35? That's small
How
one.
much heel it have in that soup?
No, I just paid 35 for a big soup. A big cow heel must have about. You're lucky if you get the heel. You're more get the
The toe. You get it too. Yeah.
Yeah, cow heel boy, cow heel. Now, but everything going up, man. And has been going up for a while now. I guess it's cricks and anything.
Quick's gonna.
Cricks
Yeah.
gotta go up too.
If it cricks
Somebody
going
give
up,
me
if
information.
cricks going up, that's it, you know. That's it.
You gotta watch your mango tree and
If
all
bricks
them
walk,
things
I said,
over here.
No, but things used to taste different when it was small.
Ah, wait, you know say mango tree. You know say mango tree, right? Nice. You mentioned nobody implanting anything, right? Good. I remember growing up, you could have find a mango tree, a plum tree, zabaca tree,
A cashew tree.
you name it, you could have find it. All over the place.
Mhm.
In your yard.
But people
Yeah.
cut people not even keeping that in the yard
No,
again, they're
because-
cutting that down too.
Because we grow in frangipani.
I had to cut down my mango tree year before.
Why you cut it down?
Because the neighbor said the mango fall on her roof, on the shed.
We'll cut her size.
So the I fed up do that with, you know, it fallen, badang. You know, it's where it is now, it's where it was
So
located.
it's waking up.
The woman say it damaging her roof. Make me cut down my tree, my mango
What kind
tree.
of calabash mango? What kind of mango is that?
Breadfruit tree.
When I was small, we had avocado, lime, Julie mango, soursop, guava, fig, no banana, the purple fig,
Yeah, the fig.
fig, grapes. But our grapevine never grew that thing.
Perfect. Good to eat.
Yeah, no, it look like a what?
It's called mataburo or
It
something.
look like an onion. No, not,
Boy,
it's
mango
like a
is
garlic.
here, boy.
It's
Mm.
purple
Yeah,
and shaped like a garlic.
Mm.
Okay.
And it opens that
Sure it
little
wasn't
seed.
garlic, it was
fig,
good.
fig,
People
right,
had
right,
these,
right.
That kind of
people
thing.
had these things. These was things that you
By
could,
telling
you
that's
could
what
get.
we that was
I
our
used to,
yard.
I didn't used to go by no man on the side of the road to buy a Hana mango, 4 mango for $20 or
No,
how much
because your mother used to tell
I
you-
get that in the neighbor tree.
That's free.
But look what we do.
Yeah, some people still want to come and take your mango on your tree. Yeah? I mean,
And you
it's
would
a-
classify those things as the healthy things, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The fruits.
Yeah.
Right.
To some
And-
extent,
and-
to some
and-
extent, because not all sweet food, too much of it is
But,
not.
all right,
very
but
healthy.
the way it is now is we have to cut it down.
Mm.
We have to cut it down, right?
Mm.
So we cutting down the trees that bearing the healthy food that you could get for free. So that we have to go now by Massey and pay $200 for 4 mango.
brother,
Or whatever the price is now.
brother, a breadfruit tree. They say a breadfruit tree feeds a family of 4 for
Correct.
75 years.
I had one of that in my backyard.
But the problem with
Cut it
a
down.
breadfruit tree, though, the size of the leaves, boy. When you had to clean that
Yeah.
yard, one
Yeah.
breadfruit tree, one breadfruit leaf like a sheet of galvanized.
What's that when breadfruit falling and it hits in your roof, damage your roof, you know?
Hmm.
When it mash up on your roof and thing,
No, but
it's a bit of a hazard.
we
It's a bit of a hazard.
used to have a grapevine
Mm.
and an arbor with the grapes running on it. It never bear no grapes, eh? And we just used to have to go
You
out.
had a
and-
vine.
Grapes is gonna vine.
Yeah, but
Vine?
wait, hold on. You say you had a grapevine that didn't bear
Yeah,
no grapes.
we
So you had
had
a
a
vine.
No,
Let me
but
be clear on that.
No, but my father and this vine boy, me and my brother used to cuss on a Sunday. We had to go outside there with garbage bag and pick up these leaves. And I don't understand what we picking up leaves from a vine for if it not bearing nothing.
If you're not
at
bearing
all.
anything, yeah.
But
That's true.
he proud of his, and every couple months he will be pruning. And when he pruning, now we gotta follow him and pick up what he cutting. Eh?
Lord of mercy.
Pruning this vine that never bear nothing. I think it bear one bunch of grapes once
Once, ever.
in my life. and it didn't taste good.
The juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
It wasn't what it is.
No,
So-
but look at limes. When I see the price of limes in the grocery, I think, but we used to
Yeah.
You
So
could be a
pick lime
millionaire.
and
You
tell
could be
one
a
another.
millionaire. He say if you had
We
a
used to get
lime
lime
tree now.
for free. It had a lime tree in the yard.
Who-
They cut that down too.
Whoever say money don't grow on trees never had a lime tree these days.
You understand?
They kill that.
Look at lemon, rough skin lemon. Look at the price of a rough skin lemon.
So you're telling me, right,
2 for
that
$20.
we don't have the common sense to tell people that the same way the coconut vendor
Yeah.
just come and buy all the coconut in your tree, because they come by you if you have a coconut tree in your yard,
Yeah.
see how much you selling the thing for, right? You try to tell me the Ministry of Agriculture cannot earmark where every breadfruit tree is and where every avocado tree is and where every lime tree is,
Every mango tree.
mango tree, and go and talk to the owner and buy all. So it's worth your while now to have fruit trees in your yard. You're getting a windfall.
Mm-hmm.
But not
Every
every
now
that you
and-
take it and you export it, you make some US. That's what Jamaica
No,
do.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what the government should do with it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, as rent tools from a place called BT Rentals on Buller Street in Woodbrook,
Okay.
and in BT Rentals yard
Mm.
have a nice big guava tree. In fact, where that tree is, I showed it feeding the 4 houses that it around, and they always have breadfruit. Nobody picking it.
Nobody picking it.
The state should, every breadfruit tree, you
About $25 a breadfruit then, if you're lucky.
look now, but you was talking about healthy food. A
Mhm.
breadfruit is the only, this sugar getting serious, the only low glycemic white, like bread, flour, potato, rice, them thing. A breadfruit is the only one that lowers your blood sugar. But what,
Breadfruit is low blood sugar.
yeah, it's low glycemic.
You ever had
You know,
breadfruit fries?
they tell
Yeah.
them that it's slave food.
Serious.
That's why they say people don't like to grow it and eat it.
I would eat breadfruit fries any day over potato fries.
Over potato fries.
I surprised
obviously.
KFC or any
If
people
you
never
eat
do anything like that.
curry breadfruit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sweet and nice.
Breadfruit
Who don't
is the
like
best
oil
thing
dog?
for oil long.
Oil dong. Who don't like a oil dong?
That's
Oil
where
dong.
it came from.
Man, look now, man. It has so many. Watch me.
A fish oil long or a pigtail oil long.
Ah, boy.
Hmm.
But you're not healthy, man.
No, I mean,
And you're
they-
talking
they
pigtail.
are oil long.
You catch him, eh? You see how we catch him? Look, I say healthy.
that's
I
it,
just
you
eat healthy thing, you know. Yeah, no God, but fish or a pigtail, boy. You can't get away from a pigtail, eh?
Yeah,
Anything
can't
sweeter
get
than a
away from a
pigtail.
pigtail.
You can do anything, but you can do anything with pigtail.
The shirt,
You can barbecue it and all.
the shirt so hard to watch. You don't have a pocket.
It have a pocket, yes. It was a bit camouflage, then you.
This pocket lost in the shirt.
It was a bit camouflage.
Watch me. You see the laugh at the shirt? Next week episode, you're gonna see what I wear.
All right. Well, hopefully wearing something.
The woman said,
Um.
the woman tell me I'm wearing, she said I'm wearing too much black clothes. I have to.
But talking about wearing, I see the Minister of Health was asked a question
Lord have mercy.
at a press conference about the wearing a mask and what is the difference in a fete with 20,000 people and outside a fete. Because if you look out the window now, there are people passing on the road, walking around with their face covered, you know, like somebody muscle them. But when they go on the fete, that same person going a fete, weekend or a party, or they're going online by a bar on the avenue, and they never no mask, you know. So his response was what? It was optional.
So I want to answer a question.
To me,
He could be a clown.
He's a jackass. He's not a clown.
Well, okay.
but
if
why
such a-
you want to be a clown?
Aren't we the bigger clowns?
Exactly.
Yes! We are the bigger jackasses.
You know what upsetting me? Because you can do this to grown-ups and we stupid and we taking we hits, eh? But you see the little children who's spending 7
I have
8
a
hours
serious
a
problem
day,
with these children being masked up.
They're immune to this cucumber phobia thing, eh?
Yes, long time.
They don't get it.
Long time.
So why we have them in masks when people jamming naked? You see that video?
Exactly.
You see the
You know,
videos? They have no space. You can't pass between people.
most of everything about this whole thing to me for the last 2 years was just completely illogical. No, I don't have a problem with believing that COVID is real. COVID was real. COVID was really killing people.
Mhm.
But there are no empirical data to tell me that wearing a mask, wholly on your face, walking around all about with it, is going to save me from getting COVID. Because I know a lot of people who was doing that and got COVID.
Case in point, right?
In fact, they took the vaccine and they got it a couple times.
They call it cucamonga or something like that.
Yeah, cucamonga phobia now.
Too late.
Right? But
It's
it's
too late.
too late.
I want to take down this
But the
video.
point is this. The point, now they can't take down nothing with this. Let me tell you something. Case in point. It was statistically revealed that the number one place to get the virus was in the workplace.
Mhm.
Yet every workplace had a policy that you had to wear a mask.
And wash your hands and
But at the same time, it was the number one place to contract the virus. Was at the workplace. But he is saying yesterday in the press conference in response to the reporter, it was Priya Bihari asking my question. It sounded like Priya Bihari, you know.
I don't watch the press conference anymore.
Well, Priya, finally a good question from you. All right,
Oh, God, don't say that.
and he didn't stumble and mumble.
Priya's
Usually,
voice.
this is Priya Bihari asking a question. Minister, about it, you know, and I just wanted to find out now because somebody asked me like what they were saying now is that we have I'm not too sure, but it's on the books there. But what we really it have any. That is probably how he asked the question.
By the time the question asks, you know what the hell he asked.
It's like somebody pointed a gun at him and tell him, don't ask that, don't ask that.
No, but-
And he mumbled and stumbled.
But they don't mind prior. The person that has make them panic is Uvashi.
Oh, God.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's the smallest thing in journalism,
Oh,
but
gosh.
when she open her mouth, so all of them big
Yeah.
ministers, they get nervous.
Oh yeah. But
It's when she tell that same minister, she say, I'm gonna come back to you and give you the opportunity to rephrase that answer. I say, well, yeah. And
No,
she weigh about 80 pounds, but she knows her stuff. She's
no, she
come,
know it. She
she's
know it. She
come-
know it. She know
I
it.
she's
had
come to the interviews well
I have had a
researched.
problem, and I've never hidden the fact that I had a problem with this whole thing from day one.
Yeah.
Every week, you coming on the radio and talking on television and saying how many people died from COVID and that kind of thing, and how many people died from COVID who had
Comorbidities.
partially vaccinated and that
partial.
kind
All
of thing.
right.
My problem with that was no one was saying how many of those persons that died were at least vaccinated once.
We sent a few information request to the ministry. They don't want to give us the
Right
You
now-
can't give it that, but you're getting on official figures, eh?
Yeah, man.
From
No.
the medical people.
Yeah, man.
And they are saying
We are
that more than
actually
68% of the people that died at
judicial-
least got one of the vaccine.
We are at the point of judicial review with the Ministry of Health to get this information. Go and bring that file. If you see the stack of information that we have so far, but when it comes to that,
My challenge is that you have a lot of people walking around calling themselves sensible, walking around with degrees and masters and
Let me tell you
doctorates and
something.
things.
One of the best.
And vex with you for asking that question.
One of the best things I read for the week was the article.
Laura,
you want to read that? You want to read it? I
Laura-
find I should read it here.
Laura,
In case you missed it,
let me find
I
it.
find it. But in the meantime,
She brilliant.
the minister's response using children, saying that we have to protect the children. The children was never in danger. It never had an emergency amongst that age group. Nothing at all. So you're talking twa.
What they're doing to those children, that is what you call
He's still one to him. This thing over, you know, and done with, you know. He
Before-
just trying to get attention, you know. Maybe his wife don't give it to him, or maybe his parents never give it to him, or his children don't give it to him. Is attention he looking for.
That was a man I used to admire, but that man too, know to be.
You used to admire who?
When he was
Who you used to admire?
No, I mean.
This lady, her name is Laura.
Eh?
Her name is all right.
Read that. He used to admire somebody.
Her name,
What? What?
Before that man became a minister, he used to song good. He used to song good in the Senate.
He used to song good. Read something that's songing good for me,
Her
please.
name is Laura Aboli. I hope I pronounce it. Aboli. I hope I pronounce it. If COVID was a battlefield, it would still be warm with the bodies of the unvaccinated. Thankfully, the mandates are letting up and both sides of the war stumble back to the new normal. The unvaccinated are the heroes of the last 2 years as they allowed us all to have a control group in the great experiment and highlight the shortcomings of the COVID vaccines. The unvaccinated carry many battle scars and injuries as they are the people we try to mentally break. Yet no one wants to talk about what we did to them and what they forced the science to unveil. We knew that the waning immunity of the fully vaccinated had the same risk profile as others within society as the minority of the unvaccinated, yet we marked them for special persecution. You see, we said they had not done the right thing for the greater good by handing their bodies and medical autonomy over to the state, which is what you and my brother and others were fighting. Many of the so-called health experts and political leaders in Australia admitted she's an Australian, right? But this has her blog gone global because of how she wrote this. Many of the so-called health experts and political leaders in Australia admitted the goal was to make life almost unlivable for the unvaccinated, which was multiplied many times by the collective mob with the fight taken into workplaces, friendships, and family gatherings. Today, the hard truth is none of it was justified as we took a quick slide from righteousness to absolute cruelty. We might lay the blame on our leaders and health experts for the push, but each individual within society must be held accountable for stepping into that well-laid-out trap. We did this despite knowing fully well that principled opposition is priceless when it comes to what goes inside our bodies, and we let ourselves be tricked into believing that going into another ineffective lockdown would be the fault of the unvaccinated and not the fault of the toxic policy of ineffective vaccines.
Exactly.
We took pleasure in scapegoating the unvaccinated because after months of engineered lockdowns by political leaders blinded by power, having someone to blame and to burn at the stake felt good. We believed we had logic, love, and truth on our side, so it was easy to wish death upon the unvaccinated.
That is true.
Those of us who ridiculed and mocked the non-compliant did it because we were embarrassed by their courage and principles and didn't think the unvaccinated would make it through unbroken, and we turned the holdouts into punching bags. Lambie, Carr, Chant, Andrews, McGowan, Gunner, and the cast of hundreds in prominent roles need to be held to account for vilifying the unvaccinated in public and fueling angry social media mobs, and that has to be laid at the feet of our Prime Minister and government because they did the same
A
thing.
lot
Correct.
of employers, in fact, were misled.
Employers as well.
They were misled to the point, to the detriment, because that pay
What
for the
is-
people that are sent
what is-
home and that kind of thing.
What-
Not finished yet. The mobs, the mask Nazis, and the vaccine disciples, the mask Nazis. Remember,
Yeah.
I was sitting down in Scotiabank in Ellerslie with my mask here. In Scotiabank, the chairs, I sit here, 6 chairs, you sit there. I 6 feet from the counter. A man by the counter doing a transaction. I on my chair, in my phone, but my mask here. The man leave his transaction, walk to the door to bring a security guard to tell
Did
me,
he pull up your mask?
put my mask
Mass nuts.
on. Mask Nazis.
Nazis.
But I mean, they was panicked. The mobs, the mass Nazis, and the vaccine disciples have been embarrassed by betting against the unvaccinated because mandates only had the power we gave them. It was not compliance that ended domination by big pharma companies, Bill Gates and his many organizations, and the World Economic Forum. It was thanks to the people we tried to embarrass, ridicule, mock, and tear down. We should all try and find some inner gratitude for the unvaccinated as we took the bait by hating them, because their perseverance and courage bought us the time to see that we were wrong. So if mandates ever return for COVID or any other disease or virus, hopefully more of us will be awake and see the rising authoritarianism that has no concern for our well-being and is more about power and control. That's why we still have a mass law.
Yeah.
The war on the unvaccinated was lost, and we should all be very thankful for that. Her name is Laura Aboli, A-B-O-L-I. You could Google her, I'm sure, and find her blog. That was so brilliantly well written
Yeah.
that I had to share that everywhere. She is absolutely correct. And I remember, now, I'm not putting anybody on blast, but Ira Matul,
Oh God.
she's the head of Matt, right?
Oh gosh.
Ira and I had long conversations. Remember there was a time when there was a spike in India, where at the height of Delta,
Yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
spike in India.
Mm-hmm.
And Ira's, but I'm saying this, her position was based on serious concern, and I was trying to get her to understand the science of numbers, but she wasn't interested in that. She was interested in the science of scientists.
Yeah, but
And if you were not a scientist that they allowed into the conversation, you were mocked and debarred from rational contribution,
And
so that they
discredited.
were only buying information from their own echo
the
chamber.
funny thing,
Yeah.
the funny thing is that to debunk any of their theories, you just had to refer to logic.
Yeah, but fear.
Everything,
Well, what
everything
fear?
about
Gotta
this
remember
was
fear.
everything
What?
about this was illogical.
This was a
Listen, I remember
fear-driven
your brother said-
campaign.
your
What I
brother said
find
that-
what I find
if
so
you-
hard and so it's so scary is how easily people were fooled.
Wait, this is what I'm saying.
Or
But
to fear.
intelligent
It's
people,
easier.
his brother said.
People with degrees and
His
things.
brother said. Hear what his brother
Fool,
say. His
yeah.
brother say that if you are healthy,
Yeah.
you're not over 60 and you're healthy, you don't have no comorbidities. You really didn't need, or you're a child, you didn't need to take that vaccine because your natural immunity will take care
We'll
of it.
deal with it. Yeah.
Right? And I proved that.
And
Right? And then the next thing is, they had a problem. Why did they have a problem with ivermectin?
Because it was cheap.
No, I think because it was proven them to be wrong.
Well, yeah, and it was
Well,
cheap.
all of that too. That's
boss,
the next
boss,
one.
let me tell you what my brother had going for him, and what launched him the trajectory that he was on. Early in COVID, there was a cruise ship that ended up on the worldodometers.com when they
Yeah, I
counted
remember.
countries.
Yeah.
They had it's some kind of princess or something.
Royal Princess, boy.
Some
I
kind-
think it's the Royal Princess.
But earlier, March in 2020,
Mhm.
early, and they isolated the ship at sea because it had COVID, and all of the numbers that got it and who succumbed to it, he was talking about this woman who was sharing a bed with her husband. He got COVID, he died, she never got it, and those were the numbers, and it came down to your condition health-wise.
Health-wise, yeah.
That was it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
And
But what about
what it probably should have promoted a lot during that period is healthy eating, living healthy,
healthy
lifestyles.
eating and exercise. Outdoors.
Remember when Stuart
So
Young
that's
tell
what it
you-
should be promoted.
remember when Faris and Gary was arguing about if you could walk two together around the savannah,
That
and
must
Stuart
sound
Young was
like-
saying the soldiers would come and kick in your face. Remember that? Don't test them. The country had gone mad. The government had gotten drunk on power because that public health ordinance 32 of 2020
Yeah.
gave them untrammeled authority. Nobody knew what to challenge. And I want to say this. Thank God for Gary Griffith.
I know several persons.
I just want to say this. Gary Griffith as Commissioner of Police. If Gary Griffith was not Commissioner of Police
Big
during
Goose
that,
Cook. Goose Cook.
I want to explain what goose cook mean.
Yeah.
Plenty people would have found themselves charged, incarcerated. The government was running amok with their authority. In fact, it is the breakdown in that conversation where Keith Rowley wanted Gary to do certain things that Gary was trying to explain to him is not covered by the law.
Yeah.
And you cannot use the police to break the law.
The Bayshore.
The wayside.
Bayside. The Bayside situation is one of them.
I just wanted to
It's
come
Bayside,
back.
right? Yeah.
I know
yeah.
several persons who got up to 3 shots in that vaccine and got COVID about 3 times.
Yeah.
I know people who got shots
You know,
and died
and let me guess.
personally.
But let me guess.
Mm.
They say you know, after they recover and thing, they say, thank God they take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take it.
But look at Kenny
It would have been
G.
worse.
Look at Kenny G and Blacks.
Yeah.
Kenny G and Blacks. 2 spokespersons. When your spokespeople start dying from the product,
You know something wrong with it. But not only that.
I think somebody should be held
in
and
this
charged for
article
genocide
here-
in the world.
In this article here, Terence Yalsing and these people are to be held accountable. They're supposed to be before the
you
court.
see, we can't let this
Half of
pass.
them people who
No, we
died.
can't let you see people
Them
letting
should
it
be
pass because
responsible.
everybody going back to fetting and having a good time.
But
They forget the pressure that these people put
have they
population
repealed?
under.
Have they repealed Public Health Ordinance 32?
If they repeal it,
If they repeal it, yeah.
which
Because this mass law,
no, they extended it at the end of May, you know.
I'm saying to you, we as a country should be calling. When Terence de Alsing said you are not, he said obliged, he meant or obligated. Obliged is a totally different thing. And Terence de Alsing tries to talk like he understands stuff, but he understands
Well,
nothing.
according to Steve, you said mine.
He said you're not obliged. He meant you're not obligated to wear a mask in effect. And somebody say
optional in some places.
the same police that looking to give you a ticket in the safe zone stand up next to you in that party.
In the party. But you can't remember after Jam Naked, the fella in the pink shirt that ended up in the fight with the police. You think the police was studying if he was wearing a mask or not? Not one person outside the savannah was wearing a mask.
The police wasn't wearing masks.
And no, they don't care. And I wanna come back to this article. Just pull that up, and let me see if I can find the part. It was coming close to the end. I want to get the exact words that she used. Right? Is it here? Yes. No.
Carry on.
The mandates only had the power we gave them. This line here that she says, right here, the last in this paragraph here. The mandates only had the power that we gave them. And that is the message we
But
was
it was
trying.
the power of the
Your
law.
brother tried to put across that message too. A lot of people was trying to put across that message, but that message had more to do with this, with the pandemic. That message is just total in terms of governance.
Watch me.
Any
We-
government only had the power that you give them as the people.
In the beginning, we understood it early. We understood how it spread. We understood the Italian numbers. You see, the Italian numbers and Spain numbers early in 2020 was white people dying. It wasn't Chinese people dying. Chinese people died from H1N1 and nobody cared. Asian people died and it didn't reach Western culture, Western consciousness. But when a lot of Italian people and Spanish people died, it panicked the world early in the thing.
Yeah.
When Donald Trump said that this is a Chinese flu, because it's from a Chinese virus, that's what he said.
Yeah.
And he shut down travel between China and
Yeah.
America. What they didn't know was that Wuhan had a direct link to northern Italy they was doing a con game where they set up a Chinese manufacturing center in northern Italy. So it stamped your Gucci and your Michael Kors and thing made in Italy, but it really made in China.
In China, yeah.
In northern Italy.
That's what everything is.
And the mayor of that city,
Downtown, yeah.
he, at the time, it was popular to fight down everything Trump say, right? So he said that this is xenophobia, and he counteracted it.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, people who are in your country are coming there from Wuhan, where the virus is. And he launched a program, Hug a Chinese Person Today. So he did the opposite, and I asked the question, like, no, monkeypox.
Oh gosh. He
I
said
just-
we have a mask for that. He justified that at the end. Make sure you have on your mask to stop the spread of COVID and possibly monkeypox.
This PNM government is afraid of the people waking up. So they need to keep people subdued. They beaten. When Rowley put up that video of Kunta Kinte getting licks, a very apt video for a lot of reasons, because this PNM government beating the people in this country.
Beating it into submission.
Beating you into submission. This whole thing. And there are plenty of people, I tell you, I see people.
And people just lying down and taking it because that is all they feel. They feel that.
Are we lazy or are we punched
No.
drunk?
I think they just.
I think we distracted.
They just wildebeest.
I think we properly distracted.
No, but we weren't wildebeest.
We distracted with
Stephan,
everything else that's going on.
Stephan, you ever driving down the road and pass somebody sitting down in the car with all the windows up by themselves with a mask on?
Yes. I seen that yesterday.
That person is so imprisoned
Paranoid, yeah.
in their mind that they believe within the close confines of their moving car with the windows up, COVID exists.
Yeah. Or
That
trap
is-
in the car
Yeah.
with a glass
They
up.
circulated in the car and a mask will save them.
I'll never forget the meme where they have people in the airport lining up with the luggage 6 feet apart. They have everybody, and then they're on the plane.
They're on the plane and everybody like sardine in a can so. I mean, oh gosh, man. I mean, oh
And
God.
in the airport, the air not recirculated.
Somehow, when we
That's
talk
critical
about critical, exactly.
That's critical
when we talk
thinking.
about critical thinking, boy, you know, we really void that in Trinidad.
But you know you're living in a country where they're criminalizing it. You're living in a country.
people really
Can
can't
critical thinking be
ask
taught,
the
or is that
question.
I don't know.
Ask yourself,
Yeah.
just 360 on the same thing and see what this side say about it.
And that's the thing. You see that? That's the thing. That's what we keep trying. That's what I was trying to tell people. I said, listen, I understand that you want to listen to the clowns that's sitting on in a press conference at 10 a.m. every morning, but give these people a hearing as well. That is people like your brother and the others that was
The
spreading the
pastors
message.
who came up in the later
Right.
half and talk,
Give them a
they made a
hearing.
lot of sense.
But,
Stop dismissing it as
you remember,
conspiracy theories.
you're giving people credit. I want to tell you something. When Faris had announced the public servants, it is you that came on my show that same night and told public servants he can't do that.
Yeah,
And that they can't fire you for this. And you laid it out for people. And again, it was people like Stephan Matteson and my brother. I tell people, I wrote that, I told people, the world owes people like that a debt of gratitude. People with
yeah.
knowledge. But it was too easy for people with knowledge to sell out or to run. You know they were jailing doctors in Canada.
Yes, I
They were
heard that. I heard
jailing
about that, yeah.
doctors in Canada.
I heard about that. Was real, right? It was real.
Yeah, it was real. That's a real story.
yeah.
There was a time they had to pick up my brother and move him around and hide him. The truckers were moving him around and hiding him because there was a window of time where there was a strong rumor that they wanted to silence him
Mm-hmm.
because
And the silence a few of them as a matter of
My-
fact.
Never went on in Australia.
but my brother debunked everything that Fauci tried to put out until Fauci stopped. And then Fauci get COVID, which I
Yeah,
found was
yeah.
ironically coincidental.
Oh, no more
And,
shots.
he talk about 6 of the vaccine,
He had,
right?
he had his 9 jobs.
He talk about 6 jab, right? And he gets
Don't take the
And
show,
you
eh?
went 2-3 masses
So
at the
what
same
man
time.
who take it
3-4
and
masses
get
at
one
the same
and
time. Yeah.
Boss man,
No,
the first
double,
time,
triple.
the first time
No.
Keith Rowley, nearly in his 80s, get COVID and was in Tobago and running business as normal. And I say,
And he had medical problems.
no, but they couldn't, they said they couldn't contact trace Keith Rowley. They say, who you lying to? Even if Keith Rowley step out on Sharon and take off with a smallie on the beach, before he take off with the smallie on the beach, special branch after rub she down. Because that is, it's not because it's Rowley, it's because he's the prime minister and special branch job is to protect him
to protect
so that the
him.
smallie don't take him out on the beach and kill him. And that's the truth. You supposed to know every single way. Keith Rowley cannot, he's the prime minister. He can't be in a party in Panorama and go and use a park disposal toilet if special branch to go and open the toilet and shine light, make sure nobody is down inside the plain talk. I lie or telling you.
Go ahead, yeah.
He is the easiest person in the world to contact.
to trace, yeah.
Every single person that talk to him has to pass through them.
How much time he get?
Just forget that for a second. They told the country,
He actually got it. I don't think he got it.
Stephen,
I don't think
they
he
told
did.
the country, this is what upset me.
I don't even feel he take that back.
This is what upset me. They told the country, and it was the day of the vaccine.
Because
April 4th,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day it was launched.
I
he
don't
got
think
COVID.
he take that back.
And you have to wait. Say you have to wait.
Mr. Man, all I am saying to you is this.
Them fellas smart enough.
If you could have convinced people that the person that is most easy to contact trace, because you've documented every single person that has come in contact with them.
Yeah.
If you could lie to the public and tell them you can't contact trace that person.
But we go like, what other lies you telling?
You think,
Like
are you
he
saying
took
Keith
the
Rowley's a
vaccine.
liar? Are you saying Keith Rowley's a liar?
Of course.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Like he took the
A
vaccine.
professional too.
Yeah, and he
You
say,
have a degree in that.
And he say the
You
PNM
don't
has-
know Keith Rowley, liar.
and he said the PNM has no
Nah.
intention of closing
Yeah.
down
Not
Petrol.
Keith
Oh
Rowley.
yeah.
Forget that. All you have to do is go and listen to Keith Rowley when he in opposition and go and listen to Keith Rowley when in government.
Yeah.
They have a video of clips of Keith Rowley. All you have to do is Google, go on YouTube and type Keith Rowley versus Patrick Manning. And a video has come up that starts, I went to the Prime Minister in August 2003 and told him about massive bid rigging taking place at Unicon. At the end of that video, he say, there is a construction site on Princess Building Grounds. 100% Chinese labor. Nobody from Belmont. Nobody. I could take you to the construction sites under Keith Rowley. And
All
it's the same
Chinese.
thing. It's the same thing.
Partner, the man say,
The man who say
The man-
every school child in this country know there is a thing called Udicott and it stinks to high heavens. He is the same man that bring Udicott under him.
partner,
And this Udicott running amok.
partner, 5 people from PDVSA walk in the diplomatic center with Delcy Rodriguez. And when the man get caught, he say, I don't know who they are. I don't know those men. 5 men walk in the diplomatic center. And he say he don't know who it is.
It's Stuart Young.
The diplomatic
It's Stuart
center.
Young. That he mentioned that, right? There are people working and they know there are people working all over the government that just sending information. They're just sending information to you to show that these people lying. I think they moved Stuart Young to Minister of Energy because there he have very little opportunity to lie. Because when he lie about they didn't know anything about the people on the plane with Delcy.
Yeah.
And we get the document that is signed by Stuart Young. The name, address, passport number of every single person. God, come on.
Gosh, come now, man. I mean, I don't know how much more lies we willing to take. I had enough.
Were we within because people
I had
still
enough.
fighting for them?
And the next lie that come in is monkeypox.
Oh god.
And with monkeypox now, I just want to mention this. I was mentioning an article that I saw, a headline in yesterday Newsday, where in the UK they said they will be offering monkeypox vaccines to gays and bisexuals because gays and bisexuals are at high risk of getting monkeypox.
You going to take the vaccine or something?
Right? Huh?
You going to take the vaccine?
No, but I feel that's why Terence Yancing so concerned. I want to feel so. I feel that's why he concerned with monkeypox. Yeah.
I have nothing.
You must check his tone when he say monkeypox. It's like something. It's like I don't know. It's like his cheeks clapping, like he getting nervous now.
I have nothing to add
What
to
forbid?
that. I
Monkeypox.
have nothing to add to that, but I wanted to ask you this.
Monkeypox or even monkeypox.
Monkeypox is a disease that monkeys get. That you have to be in close contact with a monkey to get. All of a sudden, out of the blue, all over the world,
It evolved.
people get monkeypox at the same time. It's like I read it on the Daily Mail. Now I just go on the Daily Mail and take the piss out of them. I love to take them on with the nonsense. And they say that special strains of Ebola have been found in sewage in London. And I said, it's only a matter of time before Godzilla rises from the swamp.
Ebola, it's polio.
Polio. I say it's only a matter of time before Godzilla rises from the swamp. If they tell me if tonight, who replaced Kamal Eaton Georges on CNC3? Whoever that person is, if they tell me tonight, yes, we have confirmation, there are alien spacecraft in the savannah. Nothing to know. Anything now. Anything can happen.
Oh, wait. Have they even given any statistics like we just come out of mass jabbing, right? All these people are getting monkeypox. They give any statistics as to how many of them might have been jabbed?
Nah, they're not getting monkeypox.
No. He
Them
making a
people-
link. He making a link.
Because this happened, mass jabbing, and then after the mass jabbing, all of us is like you say. So wait, all of a sudden everybody just started
You
getting
know
That
monkeypox. All these people get
probably
monkeypox.
a variant.
You know what upset me? Every child who has been vaccinated, those parents should be charged with child abuse. Because I couldn't believe that people were so willing to ignore. But you see, it's too easy to hide real
Ignore
science.
facts.
But it's too
And
easy.
by interfere.
They're so good at
Logic,
obfuscating
but
the narrative.
People aren't able to critically think for some
No.
reason. They
You
shouldn't have it.
have to be willing to find facts, both of you. You all have to be willing to deep dive. I'm telling you, if you weren't willing to deep dive
For your children?
and you were just listening to the news and what was coming on everything, Al Jazeera, I was turning it on, Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, the narrative was consistent.
The most ridiculous ad that it have right now running on TV, running on MCTV. Right? All you familiar with MCTV? You probably saw the ad.
They
I
changed
need
the name or
watch
something,
local
but
TV.
The ad is Tim going around asking people why they take the jab, right? So the first man he stopped. Hey, what going on? Yeah, man, take so are you did you take the jab? Yeah, man.
Paul
take the
Keys
jab.
Douglas.
No, Tim now from Tim from Nice. He used to work on radio and thing long time. But like he doing little things now, other little things now. He used to host the morning show by Red FM too, I think. But anyhow, the point is this, right? So here now, so why you take it? Yeah, well boy, the way things going, I had to work, you know. So, you know, that just look like in the entertainment industry. So if I want to get work, I take the thing. Oh, well, all right. So you take it to work. You go on by the next fella. Yeah, what's going on? Take the thing. So why you decided to take the thing? He say, well, boy, to tell you the truth, boy, what travel, boy. He say, another reason to take it, to work and to travel. And then he go on by a little child in a park. And the little child climbing the slide. Well, you know, why did mommy and daddy allow you to take the thing, right?
Mm.
And the child's response is, well, to protect my grandmother, my grandparents, and my parents, and to go back to school. So here are the reasons, the 4 reasons stated in this ad. To work, to travel, to go back to school, and to protect my parents and my grandparents. Not one person in the ad promoting anything said to protect me from the virus. It was for everything else. And this is an ad that they actually running that makes absolutely no sense. And anybody who gave the child that to protect them, well, the next time you get a headache, let the child take a Panadol for you.
You
That's
remember?
all I can tell you.
You remember?
Exactly.
You remember the first 2 days of Omicron
Oh gosh!
when we thought the
Oh, gosh!
sky was going to fall?
Oh Lord!
Eh?
Oh
Remember?
Lord!
And it says twice as contagious.
I want to take this opportunity
Twice,
to thank
yeah.
the doctor in South Africa that discovered it, and when they try to create a narrative on it to frighten the whole world again and
Put
throw
them
the
in
place
place.
in the panic.
She put them in place.
She was at an interview on BBC. I remember the lady, and the lady was like, "Well, you know, I really don't understand why there's all the hype. I mean, it's I mean, I've treated people. It's nothing to talk about."
It's mild.
She said mild.
She put the
It's
word
very,
mild.
very mild.
But my
Very, very
my
mild.
brother was the one who was telling her. He said every time this thing mutates,
That's true.
It gets milder.
it will get milder. He said because it does not want to kill the host.
I just want to survive.
It wants to survive. So that every time it mutates, it will mutate mild.
His brother should get an award.
A Nobel Peace Prize.
But Nobel Prize might be enough for him. No, I'm telling you, because from the start, he was saying the right
Worldwide, you know. Worldwide. He was on. He was.
Start.
They had him all over the world. He was the one that was debunking the nonsense, and he gave a lot of people courage. So I'll tell you, when you
He
stood
was
up,
once Trump.
he was Trump's advisor.
Trump's
Get
advisor.
sent for him, man.
Yeah, they had sent
That's
for him.
from here.
But you, when you stood up against the government's narrative, the public servants, I remember 24 hours later, the law enforcement bodies echoed what you said. And then after that, the PSA and the rest of them jump out and talk. But it is you that led that conversation that ended that. They was going to fire you. Remember, furlough your job or some shit.
Yeah, follow.
A British term, American
Yeah, they
term.
started to use all kind of different
Follow.
terms, you know, in the last 2 years.
Mhm.
Underlying health issues is now comorbidities. Because comorbidities songs.
I watch
Scientific
comedians.
and
I watch
scary.
comedians and go back now, right? Those people have to be ashamed. I watch comedians attack the unvaccinated. I mean, it was
Yeah.
really.
Nonsense.
It was no, but it was like when they were attacking the Jews. You know, I mean, it was like that. The way people were demonized. It was a serious scare tactic to make you. I should really go out and get this thing, or
Yeah.
I'll be demonized. In society.
Demonized, that's right. Kyrie Irving for the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving stood his ground. Oh, you know Kyrie Irving?
Mm.
Right? Kyrie Irving had $100 million contract. And he tell him, no, I'm not taking it. Turn on the money. Turn on $100 million contract to play basketball. You know what they did? After halfway through the season,
Look at Novak Djokovic, tennis player.
Novak standing ground too.
Yeah.
But with Kyrie Irving now, Kyrie Irving sit down in his home, minding his own business. He refused. I'm not taking it because of New York and the mandates. And then halfway through the basketball season, he get a call from the Brooklyn Nets. They say, here, what's going on? We know we had the mandates in New York here, but we'll pay you to play. We'll pay you half the contract, which is $50 million. to play away games only. You see, all right, no problem. You play the away games only. And he come back and started to play in the NBA, but he stood his ground and he never took it. And I remember listening to every single sports show on ESPN. They was crucifying Kyrie Irving. He's selfish. He don't care about his teammates.
And why I am unvaccinated, you vaccinated, but you are afraid of me.
But yeah.
I want to come back to the further.
All that is part of the logic. That was just donkey logic. It just doesn't make no sense.
The furlough and the public servant.
After he finished, I want to come back to that point. Go ahead.
This was an example. The public servant said, no, I'm not taking that. And they went back out to work normal. And everybody didn't take the vaccine. And the Attorney General had to step down. That's what people, that's stronger together. Yeah. That's an example of people coming together. And that's what we need in this country. There's an example.
Again, and I want to say this, we had a part to play. That live video,
Citizen Union?
yeah, that live video that Satish, that you were responsible for, I mean, the amount of information we were putting on the public space, I bless God for you. If it wasn't for Stephan, we would have sung, and I sure you must have thought the same of us. People were just looking for kindred spirits on the landscape.
People were looking for strength.
Yeah, because it's not just me.
But I didn't want to believe it, but it's
Because you would isolate you. They would isolate you and they would demonize you. When you said just now that they convinced people the abject insanity of believing, I want to say this statement. Because in my lifetime, I don't think I will ever bounce up something more idiotic than this. That you get a vaccine that protects you. And I don't want the vaccine. Becomes a danger to you.
Yeah. It's like I walk into a store yesterday.
Come on!
I walk into a store yesterday. Two people in the store. There hardly anybody coming to buy anything in the store. The lady see me coming in and she pull up her mask. She says, sir, you have to have on a mask. I say, ma'am, you have on your mask? Well, you don't have to worry about me.
You're right.
You can't.
I say you're interested in me purchasing your stuff, or you want me to put on a mask to protect me?
Yeah.
She said, no, I was just thinking. I said, right, you think.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for something here.
You see, they have them confused. And again, I don't want to beat up people too much, but it's just that I kept trying to say it. I cannot be a risk to you if you are vaccinated and I am not.
Exactly.
It's impossible. It is nonsense.
They market it like that. Remember that? You talking about ridiculous?
Remember the pandemic of the unvaccinated?
Yes! Made a pandemic of the
Nonsense. So much
unvaccinated.
nonsense. I mean,
Yeah, no, you would swear.
But media workers sat down, looked into that camera, and read the other say,
that's when I came to the absolute conclusion that media people are totally dominant.
Not the
You-
dumb, they're
Not the dumb.
sellouts.
It's
They're
not dumb.
sellouts. They're sellouts.
Oh gosh.
It's a coordinated agenda.
yeah, but Stephan, all we needed was one name besides you to get up and say, live, y'all really have me reading this nonsense, making sense to any of y'all?
Prior BRE tried, but he just take too long to ask the questions. But
The question come out, yeah? Brian, keep trying, brother.
yeah,
Look at this
when
guy.
you talk,
Look at this guy.
watch. Yes.
Nobody near him.
But he haven't on. Because he go fall from a tree now. But here's the thing. Remember, you're now talking about him being vaccinated and you not and use that threat. I remember somebody put out something. I had to laugh. This is the early stuff. Somebody put out something saying, so if I had to socially distance, what's the purpose of the mask? And if I had to wear a mask, what socially distancing for?
You know, but they answer that.
It makes sense.
They answer that. What was the purpose of, if I have on my seatbelt, what's the purpose of the airbag?
What about if you're vaccinated, why you still have to wear a mask?
All of that too.
You know what just crossed my mind? And I'm gonna see it in the conversation threads for this video. What is the real story with Phillip and that shirt? That's gonna be an issue.
Probably that traffic.
If anything need to be vaccinated in here is that jersey.
Swag and brag Westmore.
But all right. So if we could move on, we could move on to something else. Move on to something else, right? Because we had to bring up this. We had to bring this up. Is it Regional Armour SC or Regional Armour the Junior Council? We had to talk. We had to talk about the Attorney General. We had to talk about this Attorney General.
You see, I want to say this, and I want to add this to the conversation.
Lies.
No, but you see, the PNM government, and I'm saying this in front of Stephen Matterson, even though I know he's a member of the General Council.
Oh Lord.
And he have his navel string buried in his navel string buried in the PNM. I want to say this.
You see me?
I want to say this, right? That government has fallen apart already, you know. The only reason they are still the government is that the opposition is as weak as the opposition is.
Yeah.
Because you know, a strong opposition, in fact, it's ironic. Rowley as opposition leader would have thrown down this government already.
Long time.
That's good reason why we are to get rid of both of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you saw the headline
No, what I say is-
from your friends who does do the polls?
Yes.
From NACTA.
Yes.
NACTA predicts that Kamala will win by a landslide.
She fighting.
I want to know what it is.
But what I say after,
We are poll for that.
never mind that they are fighting nobody.
We are poll for that. NACTA really do a poll to tell me that.
NACTA poll, somebody shadow boxing and say they have a good chance of winning the fight. Because there's no competition. In fact, the one real
But
fight...
Kamala may really win. Kamala may really win because for sure the PNM ain't winning.
Oh wait, no. He's talking about the internal elections.
Internal.
That is the NACTA poll.
Oh,
Kamala
I
can
didn't
win
read
the
that. I
internal
didn't read that.
elections.
No, what NACTA say is even...
But you know about the fight?
Exactly.
And NACTA needed to put out a poll for that.
But and they said that weak opposition still can be the PNM as hated as it is.
Yeah.
I want to tell you something. The day Faris was fired, they tried to spin it as a demotion. He wanted this. Diane Sukaran. You see how early Diane Sukaran ended up in the conversation? Diane Sukaran ended up in that conversation quick because Faris had thrown the mother of all tantrums. They just had a meeting in Otonola Estate. And where's that? Marvel St. Anne somewhere. There is duct tape and nylon holding this government together. This government fall apart. Faris and Foster at war, you know. If Foster comes make a jail, Faris put him there. Everything Jayanti Lakshmi Diyal have, she gets it from Faris. She don't have it from nobody else.
But both of them will make a jail.
Wait now. When they fire Faris, because that's what they
And
did.
the politicians will make jail in Trinidad.
When they fired Faris, no, but this hissy fit, this hair pulling match that going on between Faris and Foster, going to damage somebody. When they came out to fire Faris, because Faris' numbers inside the cabal was higher than Rowley, and they thought that the people who own and operate Rowley don't own and operate Faris, they had to move him. Foster was the boy. So when they need to replace Rowley, because they're not even giving it to Penelope. Poor Penelope Beckles, she there as a shining light, and I tell people as the only Hail Mary in the PNM, that you put Penelope Beckles as the leader, and you will attract.
I don't think she could win the election, but go ahead.
Anyway, the story is, answer that phone. The story is, Faris, if you go back to that day when Faris was fired, when Rowley press conference was over, another press conference was scheduled. It was Faris was going to have a press conference. I have been told that Diane Sukaran was rushed to her son's side to tell him, calm down, Johnny. Calm down. Johnny Sukaran.
Is Johnny Sukaran when he with the mother?
When Diane there,
He's Faris when he out on you.
when you're out there, right? Calm down, Johnny. Calm down. And we will make it look like this is a good thing. But he was going to bust up everybody. Clarence Rambarat was part of that. Clarence started the ball rolling.
And then disappear.
No, well, Clarence say he out of government because he missing his wife. And then I don't know what they do him after they deal with Faris. He stopped missing his wife. He went back to work. This government,
It's a hell of a thing when you missing your wife and your wife might be
this
missing.
PNM government,
Nevertheless.
right now, playing with positions, playing with titles, playing with things like courts. They're playing with all of these systems that they've corrupted and broken, and it's all falling
Okay,
apart.
but what I want to know, coming back to Armour, because this is a big one. This is a big issue.
Well, I commented that.
A sworn affidavit.
I commented that because I want to tell you this. He being made Attorney General out of the blue.
Right.
That was never
Let me
known.
see if you're going where I think you're going. You go ahead.
No. I just saying to you, that was never on anybody's cards. That day was the only day in politics that was more shocking than that was the day Kamala Fire, Gary, Annan, Timothy Smith, Stacey Rupner, and remember clean sweep?
Yeah.
But this was shocking too, and Reginald Amor coming from out of the blue.
Yeah.
People ask, you have some black lawyers in the PNM. Is the PNM is the black party?
Keith
yeah?
Scotland. So why is Keith Scotland isn't the Attorney General?
They have no confidence in him.
Keith Scotland,
They
one
have-
of the most competent lawyers in
They
the
know what they know.
cabinet.
I don't know what they know.
What?
One of the most competent lawyers.
And this is a man who knows he has faith in Terence
hold on.
Dassey.
Yeah, I said one of the most competent lawyers in their cabinet.
Tell me what position you want to come at from this Armour thing.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, right? How does a man forget he was a senior counsel in 2004? Because I went and I find the article, and that's what he was described as in the last paragraph of that article, where the defense was cross-examining people like Joanna Archie, was a corporal at the time. And it was described that she was grilled by Reginald Armour, SC, defense attorney for Brian Quaitong and Rennie Pierre. Right? I can pull it up now. Right? So this is in 2004. But he gets an affidavit to fill out, right? To put out the information. And his excuse in putting that he played a minor role in the airport matter is that he was a junior counsel and limited to legal research and taking notes.
Well, he was probably junior.
But in 2004, he's a senior counsel. Now, even if you want to come and say, as he did in his release, is that everything happened quick and it was urgent, and he didn't recall his role or the capacity of his role at the time. Okay, all right, no problem. I'm not saying that everybody will recall every case that they ever do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this is one of the biggest corruption scandals and cases ever in the history of the country. One. And two, you can't tell me you don't know when he was a senior counsel.
Mm.
So if it is that he lied,
Boss,
that is tantamount to perjury.
wait. This is where I would like to jump in.
And can the matter be thrown out based on his lie?
Well, that's a different thing. But
Because remember, he was defending one man and now
no, but
I'm just saying.
the senior attorneys have said that he is no fool. He is no fool. And that is a fool's mistake.
Correct.
So if you have somebody who is not a fool, what is they saying, Trinidad, since King somebody was a something? What's that saying? Something big when it was small. Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
They said he no fool.
Maybe we had too much alcohol and can't remember. Go ahead.
But that was a fool's mistake.
Yeah.
The thing with this, it doesn't need Kamala to prosecute this. It don't need the UNC. This is a straight up, if he perjured himself in America, they'll come for him.
Correct.
They will come for him. I was looking, while you was talking, I was looking up a girl named Chandra Levy.
Uh-huh.
She was a congressman's aide who went missing in May 2001. And that story was escalating until September 11th, when the World Trade Center fell.
Okay.
And her story got buried in 9/11 because the whole world was consumed in 9/11 and the war and everything happened from there. And when all that settled down, American media turned back to Chandra Levy. And I thought to myself, that if anything makes America great, is that their systems work. And the media must have had pins on boards of issues that we will come back to when we finish with 9/11. Not how long that take.
Yeah, we didn't forget it.
And
Yeah.
they did, and they came back. I remember this girl who, Natalie Holloway,
I know that.
who
That name
went,
sounded very familiar.
she disappeared and was murdered in Aruba.
Mhm.
And Nancy Grace,
That's
the
another
talk
familiar
show
name, yeah.
host,
Yeah.
never, that became her full career. Natalie Holloway in Aruba. She destroyed the tourism industry in Aruba. Forced the government to deal with that issue because the government wasn't dealing with it, police and everything. America is not Trinidad. You as a commissioner of police, or you as a director of public prosecutions, you as an attorney general, you can't say, I'm not taking question. But they will open you
But that's the
up.
next thing I was coming to.
They will
And
open you up.
we criticized the media in the last segment. But I had to commend the media yesterday because the AG called a press conference to talk about procurement.
Right.
Now, procurement is important, and we could all agree to that. We need proper procurement, right? To protect the taxpayer. But given everything that's going on surrounding the Attorney General right now, he come and hold a press conference. I'm sure the majority of the media thought
We
he
did
come in
this.
to clarify, yeah.
Boss man.
And when he was finished, they didn't want to ask questions. So they weren't distracted. They didn't get distracted. They say, no, what happened? We ain't come here for that. We want to know what going on with you with this affidavit. And the Attorney General, I remember.
He's building a house of lies.
Yeah, but oh God, well, keep Rowley train him. So I want the Attorney General to understand this. When the media ask you questions, they're asking on behalf of the taxpayer that paying your salary.
Absolutely.
You can't say you ain't taking that question and
remember.
drinking water.
I remember when Bill Clinton had get Arafat to shake hands with the Prime Minister of Israel for the first time. Yasser Arafat, the Prime Minister, shaking hands in
Benjamin
it was in Netanyahu in Whitehall.
Mhm.
And when it's time, click, 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 it like strobe lights. This is a world-shaking event. And when that done, and it's time for media questions, is there any truth that Monica Lewinsky has a dress with your DNA on it? The media don't play.
They don't play.
They don't play. They come. We're taking their pictures.
That could be the reason why we have a 9 days memory in Trinidad, because the media's role is to keep reminding people about these things. And
As
the
long
media
as
doesn't do
as
that.
long as the
Thing is-
media gets most of their money from the government,
Yeah.
the government could pull their strings. I hate though how much of our politics comes down to PNM UNC. And to answer your question, that is why Amor is still in office, because Anand Ramlogan was in that office. And as long as the PNM could point to Anand Ramlogan and any perceived sins he may have committed,
Yeah.
then they have grounds for
Yeah, but-
defending. I just saying.
Yeah.
I just saying, because people has come on the threads. Like a man saying, I said yesterday, the government has a responsibility to subsidize flour. This is making sure people can get to school and get to work. If you cannot eat, you cannot live. Government has a responsibility, and I am
Yeah.
going to mount this as a campaign. I am not going to stop until the government subsidizes flour and rolls back not just the 33%, but the 19%.
You know what I hate, boy? The people who will say, where are we getting money to subsidize?
That's the point I'm trying to make. The person who came on my chat and said subsidies have a cost, I said yes. And that's why I wrote this last night. And I said to Trinidad and Tobago, I was just making a quick point. And I want to read the exact thing I wrote so that Trinidadians understand. Because I said, now whose properties are subsidized by the state? Pier 1 is subsidized by the state. Five Islands Water Park is subsidized by the state. Many large businesses acquired property under market value from the state or pay less rent to the state than they should. And that is a subsidy. So when the clown of a finance minister tells you about the cost of subsidies, ask him for the list of all the friends and financiers of the PNM who are also being subsidized, and ask him what they cost the state. One financier get 100 acres from the PNM, change sides and went to the UNC and get an next 100 acres.
But that
An acre of land is $1 million on average. An acre of land. So you telling me one man get $200 million from the state and pretending to grow food in Chagaramas? One man get $200 million. take back that land, sell it on market value, take back Pier 1 from Chinley. Chinley is not paying market value from Pier 1 for Pier 1. While Five Islands Water Park is paying $3,400 for a property that worth $500,000. Understand what you're dealing with. Understand what's going on with THA and the $2.4 billion. But it is so easy, and I hand it back to you now, Satish, but people, it's too easy for people to ask these questions about where the money gonna come from to subsidize this and subsidize that. The money gonna come from all those other people that you handed properties to. They have properties around Bayside in Cocorit that's selling for $6 million, $10 million, $20 million. But they paying the state $150 a year. $150 a year is being paid to the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago to rent that property for 199 years, and you are selling it for $5, $10, $15 million.
Right.
That money is the state's money. You are transferring equity. That is a 15-minute law to write. That's a 15-minute law to write. All rights in road, all them properties, Montchishad and all of them, they're renting from state, from the Port Authority, from one of those organizations, and the state does not get value. When a house in Woodbrook sell $5 million, the state should get a percentage of that money. You got it from the state for a rental. Nobody owns a single property in Woodbrook. You know that? All of Woodbrook properties are leased. And you get 15-year, 20-year, 100-year lease. But the lease, and you're paying something like $100, $200 a year, and then you're selling the lease. You are transferring state property, and the state is losing. Those are subsidies.
Wow.
All of those are subsidies. When you talk about the $500 million a year that we spend on the Salcott, that is madness. This country, this is as stupid as the saying, if you vaccinated and I'm not vaccinated, I'm a threat to you. The only thing that I think that is more stupid than that is a country that gets so much rain. We have desalination plants.
If you're getting that Benz that coming, but just by the other days a subsidy. All those vehicles. Porsche, BMW, Jaguar, you see line up there, all those things are subsidies.
All of them.
Yeah.
Both sides. This fella, David Lee, was making a certain noise at Rohan Cylinder, and people say, oh, David, don't forget about yours.
Yeah.
Faris sell one to a lawyer partner who's on the Police Service Commission, and they say they never transferred so that he could have benefit from the tax break.
Yeah.
All of those, and those things just pass through Trinidad.
And that's the sad thing, all these ministers ain't getting all these subsidies,
But-
and these poor people in the country
But
trying
no-
to figure out how we
No
going to
poor
survive.
people defending it. You know,
And that's the worst thing
They're
about
defending it,
Where
and
we
then
get
they're
some-
squeeze the double defend.
where
On the
they
radio,
And then-
on
and
the
then-
radio defending it
and
with
they tell you
with URP salaries. Because
Yeah,
plenty of them
right.
on radio on I-95 and plenty of
Yeah,
them.
the public's
They
working in
get
there.
URP
And I
salaries
don't know
still
what is
above
wrong
the
with
top.
those people getting a phone call to their phone and a talking points list as a WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And their job is just to call in.
Right.
You know, that's what the Ministry of Communication does, their job.
Well, how did you get you
No,
on
I
my
talking about somebody who's who on the payroll like URP and CPF. But they're there to talk for the
Boss man,
PNM.
they have journalists working for $6,000 and $8,000, living in one Woodbrook Place penthouse.
You understand?
The country of Trinidad, the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago is corrupted and diseased at the top. They're not doing that on their own.
Yeah, they're propping up the bureaucracy, you know.
No, they paid. And the one thing that Bastio Pandey ever said that I respect him for is when he said, politicians can't be corrupt on their own. They need people in the business
They
community.
need public servants.
No, but they need people in the business community to be corrupt with.
To be corrupt with. Makes sense.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's the thread that we had to start to pull. But Trinidadians, too quick to shoot themselves in the foot, what they call cut off your nose and spite your face. We too quick to do that. We too quick to argue bread versus doubles. That is nonsense.
So Sheila versus Camille.
And Starbucks. Watch me. Ram Logan versus Amo. It should never be about anything other than the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago. When Trinis start putting country before party, but it is Eric Williams say, don't put party before country. and Leroy Callis, Black Stallion, say we would never be so stupid to put party before country, and we could make it, we could try. But we do.
Always.
And that is what has
Let's call an
made,
election, you will see.
that is what has
Yeah.
made a mess of Trinidad and Tobago. That is what has broken the country. That is what has made the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago a failed nation. And if you don't think we are a failed nation, believe this. Any country that could flood 6 months of the year and then have drought for 6 months of the year and for 59 years, we have figure out that the water that flooding, dig a hole and catch it. We deserve to fail. The reality of the situation is this, right? This does not change. You do not have to perform for the people whose adoration and support you could take for granted. You have to work for it. You have to work for the people who you trying to attract. I told when Nylon Hippolyte was the member of parliament for Laventille West, I told Nylon, tell Laventille, marginalize yourself. You want to see money spent in Laventille? Marginalize yourself. Understand what I'm trying to say? Any constituency that is a die-hard constituency cannot ever, and in this episode of Rum Shop Talk, I mean, we touch on some serious issues, but I want to say this. Any constituency that foolishly allows itself to continue to believe that there is some benefit to people thinking that you're a die-hard constituency, you're a fool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because
You get
people
nothing.
will not benefit if the powers that be do not have to work for your support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they could take your support for granted, you have nothing
You
to
have
get.
nothing to
Nothing.
get. Now you'll
That
get
has been
something,
so
you
all
know.
the time. That-
You'll get some
I
handout
can tell
and
you
thing.
stories. That has been so
They
all
will
the
treat you
time.
like Kunta. No, serious. That is the kind of treatment you'll get.
But they don't even get handouts.
But they don't even get that, yeah.
They don't even get money in a jersey, that kind
That's
of
true.
thing. They don't get nothing. Because you don't have to buy their votes because they're not giving it to nobody else. And
The
if
vote sure.
if Laventille West vote another political party clean into office now, if Progressive Empowerment Party, sorry, I use our party, it's like, I use a party, I might as well use ours, was to win one of the two Laventille seats, Laventille will get so much attention from government. PEP win or PNM win. Because both of them now have a reason to fight for Laventille, but nobody have a reason to
Yeah.
fight for Laventille now.
It's like a man, it's like two women, a man going behind her. Just to put it in simple
I didn't want to
terms.
use the analogy, but I
Normal,
think it's like
yeah.
that.
And one woman running you down. So you have a woman running me down and one playing hard to get. Which one you feel like going behind?
Who getting flowers? Who getting chocolate?
Ah.
Who getting movies?
The one who playing hard to get.
Correct.
The next one ain't getting nothing because I know she there.
Mhm.
You understand? She there. I come home, food cook, I sleepy, bed make, I ready to go to work, clothes iron, everything in order. She there.
He's speaking like a man with experience.
Yes,
What
that's
I
my
mean.
experience, boy.
But the one that hard to get now, that is the one I'm interested in.
So if
That is the
those-
one I want to.
if those
That is the one I want to
two
take.
women are watching this show,
Oh no, no. The other
they must
thing,
never meet. Those two
and the other
women.
thing too, you know, I don't think I get so many messages on an issue like this before. That case with Jawala Rambaran and Imbud, that Imbud lost, the state had to compensate Jawala Rambaran. The state,
175 million.
right? What?
175 million.
It's 175,000.
You sure it's 1,000? No.
One payment of 175,000, but he has some other payment they didn't get the figure. But my point is this, right?
Oh, glad it's not million.
When they want to make it sound good, they say the state had to compensate. But it's really the taxpayer.
And that's why I said today, Jawala Imber didn't lose. You and I
did.
lost. These taxpayers
Exactly.
lost.
That money not coming out of your pocket.
You gonna pay Jawala
No,
Rambaran
but-
for Imbud stupidity.
They say Jawala win. What he win? They overturned it. He back in the job? No, you got a piece of money. The state had to pay that piece of money.
The
But
taxpayer,
the,
those are the state.
the taxpayers lose. You ain't get back the work. They move you for 7 years. Nothing changed. Whoever they was benefiting from that 175,000 is not them had to pay it. That play.
This morning, if you see the front page,
Listen.
the front page of the
anything
news
you
this
want,
morning,
Make yourself at home, right?
the front page of the news this morning is Imbud and Ramblogan shaking hands, so smiling. And I say to the audience this morning, you know why this picture if this picture don't tell you that all these people just part of the same circle.
It's all a papi show.
And it's when the lights, camera, the action, when it's lights, camera, action, they put it on a show. This picture says it all. You know why Imbut and Ram Logan could smile? Because nothing in going come out of Imbut pocket for the error that he make.
You know
it going come out of yours.
You know what should have
And
happened?
he laughing at you.
You know what should have happened? Imbut should have been fired.
Immediately.
Because you cost the state $175,000. Fire him. There should be a penalty.
He cost us.
It's more than that, eh?
Well, I keep telling people there's a difference between island, country, and nation and state. All of those things mean different things. Nation and state is us. Us, all of us together, the leadership, the people, everything. Where that money come from, the state is the taxpayer.
The state have no problem. No problem taking you to court. They don't have to pay anything.
I actually find it a racket now for the state to go and lose lawsuits and all kind of thing there, and then they pay out. They could find the money to pay out settlements easy.
Paying all the senior councils.
Paying all senior
the
councils
friends
and
that kind of thing, and then
it's a racket now.
yeah, it's a racket.
So I want to ask this. I
$175,000.
want to ask this question as my closing question. You telling me that not one of these people in the parliament, the government, the cabinet, the senate have the integrity to say this is not right? What we're doing is damaging the same country I have to live in when I come out of office.
They don't care.
Okay. When they come out of office,
They
they
could
will
leave.
be
It's not going to be their problem.
They ain't touching ground either.
They and
Because
it's not gonna be their problem.
Their pension is equal to what they making now.
They and the great grandchildren could leave this
Right.
country.
Right now, I wouldn't be surprised if missing in action, Keith Rowley, the Prime Minister, he in Miami how long now? How long now? He went up for a summit and decided to stay back, citing medical checkup. How long now? About a week now? 10 murders over the weekend, 6 in 24 hours.
Is Attorney General in trouble?
Your Attorney General under pressure. Your Minister of Finance just lose a case to the former central bank governor. Right?
What are the consequences?
Foster Cummins
What are the consequences?
still in the news.
What are the consequences to him? Look outside.
Mhm.
Where are the tens of thousands marching?
Nowhere to be seen.
Kamla can't call out anybody.
Yeah.
Let's be
And
honest.
then-
Let's be honest. To the UNC supporters, to the trolls and the sycophants who want to rush me, Anil Roberts, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and the rest of the crew do not possess the moral authority to call anybody out. The UNC had some people like former member David Welch and fellas like, what was that guy who was No Borders?
No borders.
God, Christopher.
Yeah.
Then, that crew, them all gone. They gone. They at least could have mobilized or something. The UNC hiding behind Robert Amar and Mikey K and them with the ground report and they who was standing up against the vaccinations and things. Remember that? And
Yeah.
But even that, you just call 4 things. Any one of which, like they tried to fire Boris Johnson for going to a party.
Yeah. During lockdown.
And nearly get fired, eh?
He barely got fired. It was close.
Yeah. But you're talking about, okay, you're
So
talking...
what are the consequences to keep Rowley asking you that question?
Well, okay, but this one I'm going to
What
tell
are
you.
the
You just said that the UNC does not hold the moral ground to
And as long as the people of
The whole
Trinidad,
PNM
as long as the
accountable.
people of Trinidad and Tobago look at Phillip Alexander and say, he bright, he brave, he just get things done, but he ain't black enough and he not Indian enough, so next. As long as we're willing to do that, we remain unrepresented.
Yeah, but look,
The PNM unrepresented. All of the PNM followers, we just demonstrated that, the diehards especially, are unrepresented. And all of the UNC supporters are unrepresented. If the only thing that you get from government is I black and he black, so we win, you lost.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
That is the only thing you get. You
But
know.
in terms of integrity and moral standing, Keith Rowley is the last person have any moral standing. Keith Rowley, as the Prime Minister, is guilty of misbehavior in public office when it comes to the withdrawal in the merit list, meeting with with the head of the Police Service Commission to have the meritless
I'm gonna
withdrawn,
ask you the
political interference
I'm gonna ask you the
in an
same-
independent office
I'm asking
election.
the same question.
So he don't even
You
understand, he
talking
don't even
about
a moral
corrupting-
standing.
You talking about a corrupting of law enforcement.
And the president implicated in that too.
This is what I'm
So
saying.
2 highest office holders.
3. The Police Service Commission, which is separate from the government, the state, the executive, all that drama, responsible for appointing the head of your law enforcement. You've corrupted that. You corrupt, they corrupt, the president, your office, you corrupt the office of president. What are the consequences to that action?
Well, apparently none, because David Naked last week released a letter, the 6th letter that he had written to the DPP, and got no response on the issue, asking about the issue with the meritless and the misbehavior in public
So
office,
why
and there is
doesn't-
no response from the
So
director
then-
of public
okay,
prosecution in this country.
So why doesn't David Naked stand up in the Senate and risk to being thrown out, taken before the Privileges Committee and say, Madam President, this is a circus. This is a farce. Nothing we do here is of any value to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. While we fighting over nonsense inside this place, people struggling to live, to survive, to eat bread. If I can't get a response from an office as high as the Director of Public Prosecutions to 6 letters, I have won. In the battle for Wildflower Park, I have won. The Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries have admitted that the Horticultural Services Division did not have the authority to give anybody any permission to put up any signs. That they have no receipts, no invoices, they've ordered no signs. They sent us the full schedule of all of their sprayings of any chemicals in that park since 2017, and none of them matched the signs that they. Nobody gave anybody permission to put up any camera pole. Nobody gave anybody permission to hire any security guard to chase people from the park. We've won. The signs are still there. The camera pole still there. So now, I have to be the government of Trinidad and Tobago. I have to sue people like the Commissioner of Police into action. We have to create private motions in the court to force judges to bring people before the court to answer questions as to how. You're talking about businessmen in this country used the coat of arms of Trinidad and Tobago, the seal of the nation state of Trinidad and Tobago, without permission.
That's illegal.
That is you hoodwinked people into believing that some authority of state didn't want them in the park. And you use the state's machinery. Everybody, the DPP, the Commissioner of Police, everybody should be incensed. I watch every race, every creed, Syrian, black, white, Chinese, poor, rich, it doesn't matter. People just blow up my phone. What you uncover in Wildflower Park, Phillip, is the steaming pile that is Trinidad and Tobago. That somebody's decided, you know what? This we park. From today, nobody not using this park.
No. And look how easy it happened.
Look how easy it happened.
Because you're passing there about 10 times, 20 times for the month or the week. And you just don't pay attention to it. And easy like that. Oh, nobody don't pay attention. Okay, no problem.
Nobody was standing up to it. You go to the park with your girlfriend,
like
you go, you stop by Miss Tina, you buy some fish pies, you buy 2 Seaboss, you're going to sit down in the park and have a picnic, and 2 Hawk security come and tell you, Mr. Gentleman, you're not allowed in the park.
You can't be here.
They embarrass you in front of your girlfriend, you pick up, you go on in the hollows, you had your picnic and you forget about Wildflower Park. You will never consider Wildflower Park again. That was the intention. You will never consider it again. If I wasn't in here for a meeting and 2 elderly people called me, the man was in tears and he was angry that they embarrassed him in front of his wife at a park that he grew up in. And I'm telling you something, you could get away with anything around me, but you see old people on Charon, you see injustice to them, they go wild me up. And that's how I touched down. That's the first time I ever do a live video like that. I touched down in that park. Live video running, you know. Wanting that security guard to come to me. And he came to me. And I asked him, I want to know who gave you the authority to talk to me in this park. and to stop me filming on whose authority? And it panicked all of them. They sent and get car and people come supervise all kind of. Nobody knew what to do. That video crossed 300,000 views in Trinidad. People call me, I tell you, big people in Trinidad, small people in Trinidad, I line up in the grocery to pay. And this old lady, this old elderly black lady, she said, Mr. Phillip, what's going on in the Wildflower Park? We could go back. As you say, somebody just decided.
Nobody pays attention to it.
I could take
so I could take this.
I could take
You understand?
Ask
Same
for-
thing
ask
with
Foster.
all the land fraud.
Ask for
Same thing.
Yeah, but at least what Foster and them take, you could say they're playing hide and seek. Because if you thief in land in Chagarama, or you thief in land in Caroni, where nobody is, you know?
Yeah.
But you're talking about Wildflower Park,
Yeah.
a piece of history. You're talking about a park that is under the purview of the horticultural division of the Ministry of Agriculture, across the road from the office of the Office of Horticultural Division. They are next door to Brandon.
They're right there. Yeah.
And behind the Prime Minister's office.
They see in the park.
Yeah, the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister's office, Whitehall. and all
Yeah,
them.
Whitehall Rider too.
But the point I'm trying to make is, we've won. And yet, the signs are still there. What are the consequences? What are the consequences? I shame people enough. They will spend a $10 million behind lawsuits, nuisance lawsuits, Phillip defaming them for calling people out for wrongdoing in the country. Trinidadians do not understand the level of insane that our country is at. And we are not going to fix it. And you can't sit down home eating your popcorn, waiting to see if Phillip will win, or if Stephan will win, or Stephan will win. It is our unification on issues that solves problems. It is us standing together on issues that solve problems. I tell people all the time. I say, if it wasn't for people behind me adding teeth to what I do, I can't get nothing fixed. If there's no Superman, and stop waiting for Superman. I had to tell a woman this morning. She messaged me and she tell me her story. I say, go straight to your MP office. She said, them to take me on. I said, stop talking like that. Go and sit down there. She said, my MP is the Prime Minister. I said, worse. 100 like you in his office this morning. CNC3 will come. People will call and say something going on by Rowley office. If 100 are always saying down in Kamla office or Rowley office and saying, I have nowhere to live. Don't go and live under RBC. Go and sleep outside your MP office. Ask EBC for your polling card. Show them who you vote for your whole life. You're entitled. This didn't end up like a rum shop talk. This one gets serious.
No. Good rum talk, man.
It was good.
It's good rum talk. I hear you. And I hope the people hear you too.
Those of you who would like to sponsor me pretty shirts for the rest of the season,
Please don't.
you can message me.
It's hard on the eyes.
Normal, plain jerseys. As a matter of fact, anybody who
Have you
want to
ever
sponsor,
you go ahead.
anybody who want to sponsor Rum Shop Talk T-shirts or polos, what was the number that called?
7694590.
7694590.
But
7694590.
only on this show, you
Yeah.
will see me wearing shirts. People tell me I only own black shirts, and I check in my wardrobe that is true. You know.
We will
All my clothes
also
black.
we will also be calling for sponsorship of a bottle of vodka, a bottle of
Single malt
rum,
scotch, a good age
a single malt scotch,
Good age single malt.
single malt,
And
a single malt
and
scotch,
a bottle, I tell you the truth.
a
Punchin.
punchin, a bottle of
You
punchin.
know we need.
Satish, what's your scene?
Rum.
Rum.
Let's ask for something expensive. Something expensive like bread.
Yeah. No, but seriously, we look at for sponsorship.
Flour.
Anybody
You
that
together,
is
I miss
interested.
flour.
And if you want to sponsor some flour too, we'll take it. We could probably we could make it go a long way.
We intend to rove this show, Rum Shop Talk. We said that.
Yeah.
Last week we had some internet connectivity issues and we apologize for delays and the missed times in the upload. We still got massive support and thank you very much for all of the messages. You can reach out to Stephan direct, Stephan direct, myself, Satish. You can reach out to the team. But if you have a location, a bar, a restaurant, somewhere that you would like Rum Shop Talk to be filmed on location, because we do this once a week, you can reach out to Satish. You're taking the call, 796.
796-8172.
Yeah. Thanks to David Welch and Satish for the engineering and production.
Feels strange in front of the camera this round.
Makes this show possible.
Oh yes, and I'm looking for sponsorship for a pair of football tugs. For a young lady who went and registered with a school football team without her parents knowing, because she liked football.
We have a price?
So she just went, I don't know the price. I don't
All right, so we don't get a price for you, but we're looking for to support her and others.
Yeah.
If you want to support football boots for these young children, that's a good thing to get in. That's a nice outreach.
Yeah.
You know, Dwight York didn't have a football boots when they signed him.
Really? I wouldn't doubt
He
it.
didn't have a football boots.
Wow.
That's the kind of
You know, that's the
Dwight-
kind of things that he can't, because I was telling somebody, you know what, I tell the father, because the father said, boy, she probably didn't want to tell us that she wanted to play football because she know the financial situation in the family and they might not been able to afford the gear. So they reach out to me for the football boots. So anybody, what's the number again?
You can call me 796-8172.
7968172.
sponsored a young lady football boots before.
That's good things to sponsor.
Felicia
sports.
Hola, and Felicia Hola can tell you more about that, so you can link up with Felicia. Her number is 7694590. And any companies, I guess, any sports companies out there that might want to make a donation or give us a 50% discount, we'll raise the money and pay the other half, or
Yeah.
put it out of our pockets.
That ain't
But
a
if you would-
problem.
and we'll
How much
give
are
you
boots these days, boy?
we'll give you a big up on the show, and people will hear your name. And in these times of
Yeah.
any advertising, it's good advertising. But I think that people who demonstrate that they are good corporate citizens, people tend to want to flock there and spend their money.
And I tell you, and if your name, if you're a normal citizen out there and you just want to sponsor it, and let me say spend $600, we'll call your name 6 times
And as
during your
yours-
show.
very much.
And as your sponsor, I'd like to
Carl!
I'd like to make a call for the sponsorship of our push toe slippers.
Thanks, Carl.
Someone
Carl.
Someone sponsored Phillip and New Jersey, please.
You're only asking for expensive thing. Our push toe slippers. Remember them slippers? With those-
Pushed over. Oh gosh.
go forwards. A slippers that can go backwards.
Pushed over.
The on location thing is important though, because we
Yeah.
plan to move throughout Trinidad and Tobago. But I mean, if we get a call to come Guyana, we going there too. Yeah, rum shop in Guyana. Might come back.
Guyana in Carnival and thing this year.
Bless
you know?
up now, man.
October.
Yeah, no. Thanks to Stephan, thanks to Satish, thanks to Stephan. Bring it to a close.
Yeah, man. All right. So thanks a lot for joining us again this week. Next week, more rum, more shop, more talk. All right. And same time, same channel. We on YouTube.
Right through.
Right. Rum Shop Talk on YouTube.
And Facebook.
And Facebook.
Yeah.
Of course. What was the
We are going to be getting our own URL, so you'll be able to eventually type in something .com and it'll go straight
and
into
go
it.
straight in.
So Satish working on that right now. So by next week's show, you'll see it in the credits and we will talk about it. It might be on our jerseys. Not
Yeah,
this.
if you're sponsored, Carl. Yes, Carl.
And if you all have
We need Carl. We need some jerseys, polos, t-shirts,
on
anything.
this jersey.
Nothing with flowers on it, Carl. Just Rum Shop Talk. This design in the back here. We'll send the graphic work for you,
Thanks a
Carl.
lot, Carl.
You know, anybody name. You know, it could be Carl or Carol. Anyone. Anybody, male or female. If you want to sponsor the jerseys.
I actually know Carl and
who's
Carl.
this Carl.
No, but seriously, if you have a little clothes store and you have the t-shirts, you have the polos,
No, look how much people going to Swag and what's it?
sponsor the t-shirts, you'll
Swag and
get
brand.
print.
Look at the amount of people going Swag and brand tomorrow just because I wearing this shirt. Because people go, oh, and this jersey is for sale. If
They ain't
wanna
gonna buy that.
No, I mean this one that I'm wearing.
They ain't gonna buy
I
that.
can't wear it twice.
They might go swag and brag to see what else it have. But I guarantee it have nobody in Trinidad and
The
Tobago.
rub shop, the barman wipe down the counter.
Two things I know for
I'll bring
sure.
my bill.
Two things as we close, Stephen. Two things you will not see in Trinidad and Tobago is another person wearing that jersey and anybody else in their right mind admiring Terence Yal sing. Nice. Yeah, Lord. We go on.
We got.
I go drink to that.
We in the rum shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
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 So bring a rum, bring it come in the rum shop talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So bring a rum, bring it come in the
Yeah.